If you haven't guessed already, this session is about how to stand out in a competitive market. The reality is, you could have a great idea, but if people really don't understand what the value proposition is or what really makes your product or service unique, they just won't buy it. And so, this lesson, we're going to cover how to analyze your competition because you need to know what your competition is doing and the kind of messaging that your competition is going after. And then you'll learn how to position your product or service effectively. And then from there, we're going to really try to refine your value proposition. Think about brands like Apple, Tesla, or Amazon. Let's take Amazon, for example. Amazon Prime really changed the way we think about e-commerce, right? They started with 2-day delivery, and then same day, and then 1-day delivery, 1-hour delivery in some markets. And so you could see why we gravitate towards purchasing on Amazon, because they made it so easy and instantaneous to actually receive the reward, which is the product that you purchased. We're going to go a little bit more deeply into each of these three critical areas. First is understanding the competition. It's just essential for you to know who else is in the market, what they offer, and more importantly, where their gaps are. And the goal is to try to understand how you could fill some of the gaps that people really feel like it's problematic with your competitors. The second is really understanding if your product or service is good enough to buy or good enough to make the switch, because it's most likely the customer that you're targeting is already doing something and they already have behaviors and habits and a system that they're already utilizing. And what you're really introducing is a different way of doing something. So someone has to feel that it's compelling enough to make the switch. And then through all of that, we're going to work on refining your value proposition so that it's clear why your product is differentiated. And by the end of the session, you should have a clearer strategy on how to position yourself in this crowded market. Before I launch a new company or even launch a new product within a company that's already existing, I'm always trying to better understand the competitive landscape. And in order to do that, there's kind of 4 ways that I would approach it. One is you could check out their website, but the way you check out their website is really focusing on the kind of language that they use, the intonation, the kind of verbs and nouns that they use to describe the experience that a customer might have using their product. Look at their testimonials, look at the pricing model that they might have. This is all incredibly important information for you to better position your product. The second is to do a little bit of secret shopping, attend their webinars, go to their presentations to really hear how they talk about their customers, the journey they have, and the impact that they're having with their product. Third is to talk to their customers. And we're all in education. It's likely that you know somebody that is using a competitor's product, and ask them what they like about it, what they don't like, what they wish the product has. Look at public contracts, because in education, so many of the contracts are public. You could easily search for a competitor's contract and see how they present their work, the way they organize their proposals, how they talk about the outcomes from the proposals, the data they're able to produce. This is all invaluable information that you can use to better position your product or service. Now that you have a good sense of the competition, what you're trying to figure out is what kind of pie you want to go after within that marketplace. So the way to think about it is there's kind of 3 kinds of pies that you're really going after. One is the slice of a pie. So there is an established competitor in the space, and you're offering a better solution that competes directly with the competition. An example of this might be in the learning management space or learning management system space. You might decide you want to build another learning management system that's more sophisticated with AI. Well, you're really going after an established pie. So you're taking a slice of that pie and trying to grow the size of that pie. The second is you're expanding the pie. You're making the pie bigger. And the way you're doing that is by adding value, but not directly competing. And over time, those products might overlap a little bit. But an example might be there's an learning management system market, but you're creating a career pathway product that integrates really well with the courses that students take. And so you're really expanding the pie by doing that, but also you might creep into part of the learning management space with features and some of the integrations that you'll be doing in that area. And then the third area is really creating an entirely new pie. And this is when you're offering something that no one else in the market is currently offering. And so that might be something like a robotic tutor that you might have built in order to provide intervention services while the teacher is teaching. And so I haven't seen a robotic tutor in classrooms yet, but if you created something like that, that would be actually creating a completely new pie, something that no other company has really ventured into yet. So understanding what kind of pie how you're going to tackle the different pies will help you figure out how to create your value proposition more strongly.